good little club before I came across Seiwakai. I'd been teaching and training in karate for a long time and had good instructors, and it was good technique, good ability, speed, power, timing, had success in lots of aspects, and I'm very thankful for that. For me, I really needed to take my karate training to the next level, rather than, I guess, being an instructor and having a club and being totally isolated and then never growing further, never going on that journey. It strikes me that many instructors do 10 years of good training and then they repeat the 10th year another 25 times and say they've been training for 35 years. For me, I wanted my journey to be different. So in bringing my students to Seiwakai, it opened up the doors into training with somebody who'd done 45 years of training, and there was a development all the way through that. It's very exciting to be around someone who can say, you've just achieved the 20 or 30 things I've given you, here's another 20 or 30 more. Okay, now you've got the shape of what you're doing, now I want you to internalize it. Now think about the energy, now put your emotion into it, now take the power out of it, now do this. And that is a real lifelong journey. And Seiwakai for me really represents an opportunity to train for the next 30 or 40 years and continue to be a student, which I love. I love the idea of Shoshinsha, an eternal beginner.
For me, Seiwakai has a direct route to Japan and the authenticity. So a lot of instructors around the world become isolated, and then that can lead to lifetime regrets for students and even the sensei. So that authenticity and that family, definitely that family of Karate-Do and Seiwakai in Japan and around the world, is that bondship and kinship where we're a group and we're like a family. We respect and courteous to each other and work as a team to try to help. Because Karate-Do is basically for everybody. It's not about one individual, it's about spreading those core values to help people in the community.
I started karate in a goju system under Tino Sobrano, and then when I left Tasmania, that's where I was. When I got to the mainland and where I was living, I couldn't really find a karate instructor to match that in the goju system at the time. So I actually went to a group of guys who were a small part of the Zendo Kai Club, believe it or not, and they were great martial artists, had passion, and they were very practical. And that meant a lot to me, the fact that they weren't just an analytical group. They were very practical, very based on application. So I spent a long time working with those guys and eventually started teaching under that system. And then that system started to, like a lot of systems do, started to implode when a certain man died, who was kind of the voice of reason, who certainly was for us. So I then decided to move my club somewhere with more goju roots. Seiwakai was then presented to me. Once I met the people in Australia from Seiwakai and I saw the connection to Japan, and then eventually met Fujiwara and Hanshi Tasaki as well. I was lucky enough to meet him for the last year of his life. It was a very, very easy decision. And I've taken my class, which has 30 adults, 12 black belts, and transitioned them across to this system, which was a lot of hard work. But the boys stepped up, and with all the help from the guys in Australia and the Japanese team, managed to get ourselves to a high level of Seiwakai.
You look at someone as hard as what Tazaki was, and Tazaki was both our teachers, like as Fujiwara and myself, and he was just one of these people that could put 100% passion into it. And Seiwakai was what he had to build to stay when they split from the Yamaguchi Kai. When Yamaguchi left the Goju Kai, Tazaki had to have another name, so he picked Seiwakai. Seiwakai is peace and truth, I'd like to say. If you look at it, or peace and harmony, that's what Seiwa means. You think about that, and that's exactly what it is.